everyone, I hope you're doing well. There's been a video that I have been planning on making since the beginning of March, but then we had other things that happened and I wanted to update you on those. But now I don't have anything exciting right now in our life to update you on, and I'm totally fine with that. And so I wanted to share what this month means to me. And that is, March is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. And those of you that know me know that I have had cerebral palsy all my life. I was unofficially diagnosed at the age of 3. Actually, I think it was a situation where a doctor saw my mom and me at a party, and he heard about my story, and he's like, well, if her condition hasn't worsened, she probably actually has cerebral palsy, not what I was originally diagnosed with. I was originally diagnosed at 8 weeks old with hydrocephalus. A baby goes in for a 2-month checkup, and during that 2-month checkup, part of what they do is they measure the circumference of the baby's head to see, is it normal, is it misshaped, what's it look like. I had a big head. Can you believe that? So my head was too big. It wasn't in the normal range. And so with that, they sent my mom and I on to specialists, and come to find out, it was found that I had water on the brain. And so at 8 weeks old, I had my first surgery, and that's where they took, cut somewhere up here and put a pump and a tube down that drains into my colon. So I was placed with a shunt at 8 weeks old to drain the water off my brain. And I am so happy and thankful to say that it's worked ever since. Yes, before the shunt was put in, some damage was caused. I cannot turn over my left hand, see, I'm moving my right hand. I can't do that with my left hand. When you walk, your ankle does this. My left ankle is frozen. It doesn't, see my foot? It doesn't move. It just stays like that. My right foot flex. I can move it around. This one doesn't move. It also affects my eyes. My left eye is my good eye. My right eye is my bad eye. But both my eyes' vision is affected. And it also affects how I walk. If you look at me and how I walk, I walk with a normal limp. It's something that doesn't go away. And my left arm is smaller than my right arm. And then, so I had my first surgery at 8 weeks old. I had my second surgery at 4 months old. That was an eye surgery. And then I had my next surgery at 4 years old, where they lengthened my shunt. They made the shunt bigger that they originally put in as when I was an infant. And then I had another eye surgery at the same time. I've also had 2 other eye surgeries besides that. I've had the Achilles tendon on my ankle lengthened in hopes of getting some of that flexibility with my ankle. It has worked a little bit, but not perfectly. It's still very tight. I had a surgery where they took this tendon down here and put it up here to help my wrist not to droop so much. I had my thumb cut and moved back because see how my thumb kind of gets in the way? And they moved it back so that I could grasp things and use my hands better. I've had, what else have I had done? I had a bone spur on the top of my foot removed, and then that's about it for things related to cerebral palsy. I've also had my wisdom teeth taken out, and I had surgery when Thomas was born. But other than that, like, I think of my situation and just all that I've been able to accomplish. Yes, I look different than everybody else. Yes, my condition is more noticeable when I'm tired. There's things that other people would do in their daily life that takes a lot more energy for me. I would definitely say the main one being using my eyes. My eyes get tired the more I use them. And with teaching, I'm looking at regular print, and I can, but the longer I look at regular print, the more my eyes get tired and they hurt. And so I teach during the morning. I try to be done by lunchtime, and then I come home and try to take at least a 20-minute nap. And a lot of times after teaching, I won't look at print again. I mean, I'll watch videos and things, but with that, you're not like having to pay as close attention. And a lot of times I listen to books instead of just outright reading them. And yeah, I've been very blessed that I have a husband that helps me do things like open jars. That's something that I've never, like, you know, when you first get a pickle jar, there's maybe been 1 or 2 times in my life when I've been able to be the first one to open that jar. He also helps with the cooking, because we have a stove where you have to push the button and turn, and so that's really hard to do with my left hand, but he does the majority of the cooking because he's the better cook. And so yeah, there's been different things that I've done in my life to make life easier, or adapted things to make sure that I'm able to get things done. When I give one of the twins their bottle, I put them on my left arm and hold the bottle with my right. That's how I fed Thomas. I've learned how to do a lot of stuff one-handed, or if I'm, helping Thomas get his pants pulled up or whatever, I'll grab the shorts with the right hand, and then I'll grab the other side grab the shorts with the left hand and grab the other side with the right hand, but the right hand does the majority of the work. And I make it work. That's how I've always been. I love what Dan's dad said when we were at Dan's brother's Eagle Scout project. Like, he made the comment, don't worry about how she gets it done. Like, she'll get it done her way. And that's just how I've tackled life. I don't drive, but here the transportation is amazing, and we have a car, and I really don't need to go anywhere unless Dan, unless it's like church and we do that together. And that's a promise that Dan made to me when we got married. He said, I'll be your chauffeur, or I'll, drive you around. And he has lived up to that. I mean, sometimes he's grumbled, but very few times. And he's been so sensitive to the fact that I won't drive. And we make it work. And if he's not able to take me, there's the transportation here as well. I also have very understanding students that if I sit there and say, hey, your writing's too sloppy, I can't read that, or your writing's too small, they'll take it back and they'll write it bigger. And they understand it. They know what's going on. I think it's important that in March that people understand that, one, if somebody has cerebral palsy or another disability for that matter, like, it's not something you're gonna catch. You don't have to, like, keep your distance from that person. You know, they're created just like you and me, and they should be loved and they should be valued. And just watch how God uses the people around you that have cerebral palsy, or whatever for that matter. I mean, I never imagined that I would run 2 mini marathons. So 13.1 miles. I ran that twice. I ran cross country in college, or not college, high school, when I planned on just being the manager. I was on the team. I ran track in high school. You know, I did all these different things that I didn't think I would do. I showed animals in 4-H. I showed pigs. I showed goats. I showed sheep. I showed a cow for a while. And with the sheep, normally you just use it with your hands, but we made a special halter, and that's what I used. I mean, there have been some things that I've chosen not to do, but a lot of it, if I really wanted to go and do something, I would go and do it. You know, and some of the things I just choose not to do because it's easier not to do it. You know, so I've been on hikes before, not like super major hikes, but I mean, like, my grandpa used to go mushroom hunting, and I would do that with him. We went to Brown County a couple of years for cross country in high school, and I ran the stairs just like everybody else. And so, yeah, I don't want it to ever be, I don't ever want to be known as someone who has cerebral palsy that let it stop them. You know, because I believe that God has made me how He has made me to, one, be a testimony to His power and what He can do through a person, and two, just to shine His light and to show people, you can do this, you can get through it. Yeah, there are painful days, but that's also humbling, you know. It reminds me that I can't do everything on my own, and it's okay not to be able to do everything on your own. We weren't made to be independent individuals, you know, like, we were meant to live in community and lean on each other and to help each other, and that's the way I want to live. That's the person I want to be. And so I'm very thankful for my 8th grade students and my 5th grade students, and hopefully I can be a light to them and just show them that God can use anybody. It's really interesting. We at Faith do not have any students right now with visible disabilities, and I think it's important that each student, child, whatever, is exposed to that at some point in their life. It's important that they understand that there are people that have different needs out there than themselves, and to learn how to be there for each other and to lift each other up and encourage each other, and you know, help them to realize that the world's not all about them, and that they can be helpful and servants in whatever way that God puts in front of them. You know, Thomas is 4, but if I'm sitting on the couch with one of the twins, and if they finish a snack and I have trash, I'll say, "Here, Thomas, take this to the trash," and he does. And there was one day I asked him to take a piece of paper to the trash like six times, and he's like, "No more." And so, but he still did it. You know, I think I don't want Thomas to feel like he has to take care of me, of course, but I also don't want him to be like, oh, the world revolves around me. You know, mom and dad are going to do whatever I want. I want him to learn how to serve, and I want him to learn how to serve at a young age, and to take care of others and to love others. And because who knows, if we continue to foster in the future, there's a possibility that we might end up with kids that would have other needs or whatever. And I want Thomas to know and understand like what it means to love and to take care of and to be there for. So I think it's a very important skill to have. And so yeah, I'm so thankful for my parents that never let me say can't or I can't do this. They always pushed me and made me work hard. My dad bought me a basketball hoop at the age of 4, and I still, you know, learned the concept of the game and would go out and shoot. And I was never on an organized team, which is probably a good thing because bad eyesight of basketball, yeah. But I'm just glad that my mom or my dad never sat there and said, no, you can't do this because of this. Like, they still let me pursue the possibility of driving, and I tried. And so, yeah, and I'm glad that I grew up and went to a school for the majority of my life where it was a normal situation, and I had to figure out how to adapt. I'm so thankful for my elementary gym teacher that let me get in there, that let me play, and just, she bought some different things so that I could do things like everybody else. And I'm so thankful that I was included in kickball and baseball and, you know, soccer and all those different things. I played soccer as a little kid for a little bit. And I played t-ball. Those were the only 2 sports I played with a ball. I wasn't very good, but it was still fun. And so, yeah, I want my child to grow up in a world where he doesn't see people that are different than him being left out. You know, whether that's because they're a different color or because of their abilities or whatever. And so that's one reason that I feel called to be here in the Philippines. A lot of the people here in the Philippines, if they have disabilities or things like that, they're separated from the rest of the world, and a lot of times they don't go to school and they're not included. And I want Thomas to know that that's not okay. And everybody on this earth has some ability and some purpose to be here, even if it's just to put a smile on your face. If you look at those people that are completely paralyzed, like neck down, aren't able to speak, you know, have to be fully taken care of, a lot of times you look at their face and it's a smile. Their laughs are contagious. They're great to be around, and such a blessing. And so, yeah, I made this video today so that you know a little bit more about me, and hopefully the next time that you see somebody different than you will go up to them and say hi and give them a smile and not walk the other way, because everybody's been made with a purpose, and just get to know them. It's a good thing to do. That's it for today's video. I'll talk to you later. Bye. God bless.